This is Purvangi. I'm a psychologist and an author. I'm actually very happy and grateful to share with you my important informations with you about how do you really feel about yourself, how do you value your life. So this information is basically giving you the important insight about your own thought process and about your feelings. In this busy and distracted era, in this noisy world, we won't be able to listen our own voice inside. And most of the time, whenever we have a self-talk, we most of the time judge ourselves by the eyes and the conversations of the others. It matters to us a lot what the third person or the outside world thinks about us. And of course, this is very important point. But before you are going and reaching to the conclusion about your own valuation of the life, you have to ask yourself, how do you value your life? How do you value yourself? So there are two important points you may ask to get an answer from yourself, that how do you value and how can you reach to the level of the satisfaction, the level of the happiness and the level of the success through your mind. So the first important questions you may ask for that, are you doing what do you want in your life? And the second important questions you may ask for, are you the person what you would like to be? These two important questions you have to ask and rate yourself in 4 answers. See, when your answer is you're always, yes, I am the person who I actually wanted to be. If the answer would be always. If you are asking yourself, what do you do in your life? What are the work are you doing is satisfying to you or not? And if your answer is always, then you actually value your life. But when you have these questions and you are rating your answers, like sometimes, or maybe most of the times, or if you have the answer never, then you have to work on your value. So value is something not about the counting of the money, how much you earn, counting of the degrees, how much you have, the business you are doing, the profession are you into, but it is about the counting of how do you feel about yourself. This is a very interesting and important exercise I'm going to share with you, is about funeral exercise. Don't take it negative way. This exercise is basically you have to look at imagine your funeral, and you actually imagine the people actually talking about you. After your death, they talk about how the person you are, what are the value system in you, how much you are ethically binding yourself, how ethical you are, or maybe how much honest you are, how much successful you are, or how much strong you are, or how great willpower you have always. So these are the value system you actually create for your own life. That may start with your confidence, that may start to work on your mindset, that may start to work with your emotional life as well. So the most important is to asking these 2 questions and then get an answer. And when you are getting an answer, you have to analyze yourself by asking simple questions that, are you doing what do you want to do in your life? And are you the same person you always wanted to be? And if the answer is coming from inside is no, or I have to work on that, because we are always in a journey to get something. And to have that journey, to pass on through that journey, you have to do the funeral exercise. Second, what you exercise you can do is, when you actually observe yourself, you have to observe yourself as a witnessing yourself. Don't become a judgmental that time. Don't take a judgment of your thought process on your feelings, but rather you have to just see to yourself as you are. And when you are actually putting your efforts to see as a third person is witnessing you, you can find your strength, you find your confidence, you find your clarity, and the fourth and most important thing is you can create your own willpower and self-esteem. So by doing this, the third exercise you can do is you can first adapt as you are. You accept yourself as you are rather than you are just putting and switching over to change yourself. For example, if you are overweight by 10 kg and you really wanted to feel that no, I need to work on myself because the fatty body is going to be lots of hampering and it becomes my disadvantageous quality of my life. So what you can do is you have to just accept it, adapt yourself as you are by overweighting things. Analyze your thought process. What do you think about your eating habits? What do you think about your habits of the exercise? What do you think about your waking up in the morning and sleeping at night? How do you spend your whole day? How much hours you are sitting and how much hours you are walking and taking, the physical exercise. This is one of the example I'm going to set in front of you is about the body weight. Exactly the same you can work in your relationship, in your financial life and in your emotional life. So when you are actually asking these two important questions, you are getting an answer out of it. Do write a journal because the journaling is the most important part of our life. When you do journal, you are actually a self-talk. You are talking to yourself and you get out of a lot of emotions. You get out a lot of things which helps you a lot to understand who you are basically. And when you understand that, you cultivate the most important idea of yours, that who you wanted to be. Or you want to see yourself after 3 years or 5 years in your journal where you have to. The qualities you have cultivated, the honesty or maybe the ethical and virtuous life you wanted to have after few years, then you may have that clarity about yourself. And when you have the clarity, you are working on daily basis on yourself because you are committed by writing in a journal that you have to do this. And you are actually ordering your mind to do the right act at the right time. When you adapt, accept, and in the process of change, you have to do action. Just don't think much and overthink about yourself, or don't overthink lots of thought process, but just do an action. Like in fear, the most important thing is working is in action. The same way you have to act. Implement all your ideas, execute them, and see what the result will come. That result is actually the value system of yours. I hope this information is very helpful to you. And for further information, if you want to write me something, you may definitely write on info@purvangishukla.com. Have a nice day, nice life, and a great time ahead. Great and best blessings from my side. And if you have any query, you may do visit my website on www.purvangishukla.com. Thank you so much.